Okay, I'd like to call a meeting to order. To all persons deemed interested or affected by the town of Barnstable's Old Kings Highway Historic District Act under section 9 of chapter 470, acts of 1973 is amended. You are hereby notified that a hearing will be held tonight on the applications listed on the agenda for Wednesday, August 10th, 2022. We'd like to remind applicants and audience members that we are an elected volunteer committee following the guidelines of the town of Barnstable's Old Kings Highway Historic District Act. Any applicant or interested party who has agreed by decision of this committee has the right to appeal the decision to the Old Kings Highway Regional Historic District Commission. We ask that during the evening's proceedings, cell phones be turned off and conversations other than those before the committee take place outside this remote meeting. When an application is called, we ask the applicant and all interested parties and abutters to identify themselves. Lastly, as a best practice for meetings held remotely, where we may not be able to visually identify who is speaking, we ask all committee members and participants to identify themselves before making any motion or comment. Online audience members wishing to participate during the public comment section of the hearing can use the raise hand button to notify the chair. Dial-in audience members wishing to participate during the public comment section of the hearing should press *9 on their phone to notify the chair. All participants will be muted. You must be recognized by the chair to participate. First order of business for the evening is roll call attendance. Bette McCarthy. All right,
Here.
unmute. Okay. Leslie Wallace.
Here.
Brian Caholen.
Here.
Wendy Shuck.
Here.
George Jessup.
Here.
Oh, you are here. All right. And
I'm here
Paul
by
Richard-
telephone.
Okay, and Paul Richard is here. All right, since George is here, Wendy, you can participate in the meeting, but you can't vote.
Yep.
We're only allowed 5 members to vote. First application for the evening is continued application. Angela Tangney, 133 Main Street, West Barnstable, map 111, parcel 007/000, built circa 1995 to install 12 roof-mounted solar panels. Do we have Wendy or a representative here?
Hi, my name is Kristen. I'm a representative from Vision Solar, the contractor.
Okay, you want to just give us a rundown of where you stand on this?
Yes, so we are proposing to install 12 roof mount solar panels. Originally, we had this design on half the back of the house, half the side of the house. We have redesigned everything to be on the back of the house. I did send those plans to Grace. I don't know if you have them.
I haven't seen anything new, but all in the back of the house is acceptable with me. You want to go to a committee discussion, Beth?
I agree. If it's on the rear of the roof, it would not be visible from 6A, and that would be acceptable to me.
Okay, Leslie.
Yes. Oh, I went down today to look. I didn't see any update on it. But if it's in the back and you can't see it because it's on 6A, I'm all for it. Thank you very much.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, Ryan.
Yep, same for me, provided that all the panels are in the back. I take no exception.
Okay, and Wendy, you were at that meeting, the first one.
Yep, I agree. I think if it's all in the back, no issue, no concerns here.
Okay, George, you weren't at that meeting when this got brought up first, so you'll have
No,
to.
but I can comment.
You can comment. You'll have to abstain on the vote. Okay, you want to comment, George?
I do want to comment. I would approve a rear roof only after review of the revised plans by the chair. Simply to make sure that all the proposed panels and the documentation is up to date.
Okay, Jen,
That's
do
it.
you
Thank
have? Do you have? Are you able to pull up the revised panels?
Can go and check and see if I can get access to it. I'm not usually one who covers these meetings, but I will go look and see if I can get them for you.
All right, don't spend too long. I think we could vote on this anyway, and then I can go down and check them at town hall if need be.
For what it's worth, it looks like on August 3rd, there was a new file uploaded. Does that sound like around the time where the new drawings were submitted?
It sounds about right, but let me see.
They have what is up in the Laserfiche file, but there's no revision dates on there. There's just the original May 9th date. But the drawing does appear that the panels have been stricken from the side of the garage and they've been moved to the back, but it's gonna.
Yes, it should be clouded where the change, it does look like they did. There's another date that says 7/18/2022. Are you showing that under revisions? No, okay, then that's not the updated plan.
I mean, I'd be good to get a motion on this and if need be, I'll go down to town hall and look at the, make sure that they are all in the back. If they're all in the back, yeah, I would make the motion that we accept the panels with the
right.
revision that they're all in the back. I think
This is Bette McCarthy, and I move to approve the certificate of appropriateness for Angela Tagnay, 133 Main Street, West Barnstable, map 111, parcel 007/000, built circa 1955, to install roof-mounted panels on the rear roof of the property.
Okay, can we have a second?
Leslie Wallace, I'll second.
All in favor, roll call vote. Bette McCarthy,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
George Jessup. He's
Yes.
gonna
to
I am,
abstain.
oh, yeah, okay, I am voting on this, yes, aye.
Aye, you have to abstain. You weren't at the first meeting.
Well, that's what I thought we were doing. I was going to abstain for this particular vote, and Wendy was going to vote
Right, well, you
as a participant.
okay, you have to abstain, so is that an abstain?
All
for
right,
you?
I'm
Okay.
abstaining, yes.
Okay, and Paul Richard, aye. Okay, and I will go down and check these out in town hall, make sure that they're up to our expectations.
You
All
need,
right.
Yeah, because
Thank you.
the building
Thank you so
inspector is
much.
going to go by those.
Yeah.
Yeah, the building inspector is going to go by the last submitted plans. Thank you.
Right, okay.
Paul,
Yeah,
Elizabeth is gonna jump on in a second, and see if she can find those plans. But I think if Ryan looked in that same folder, that's what I would be looking at. So I
Yeah.
will be in the office tomorrow from.
well, that's good. I mean, on that one, we're fine now. I'll check it out tomorrow.
Right.
You know, if Elizabeth's gonna jump in, she can probably pull up the screen for these next three applications, so.
Okay,
As long as we can get that. Okay, next application is Stephen Clement Trust, 131 Country Club Drive, Barnstable, map 350, parcel 038/000, built circa 1969, to install cedar impression siding, to install replacement windows and a new front door. Do we have the owner or representative here?
Yeah, my name is Steve Clement. How are you?
Good evening.
I'm
You
the
wanna give
owner
us
of the
a,
property.
rundown of what your project is?
Yeah, so we recently purchased this property and it had been quite a few years of some neglect that were, run down items on the property. So we're proposing to change the windows and the front door and replace the siding with a polymer-based cedar impression siding. We've been in the yard and been working on the property and talked to a few of the neighbors, showed them our intent of the project, showed them the products they were going to use, and we had some great support from them. They're very happy to see that this project is underway and finally getting a better look in the neighborhood for this particular house. So yeah, we're asking the board's permission to approve the products that we're going to use and go from there. The existing siding on the house now is like a white painted board and batten, like texture 111 style siding that was original from the property back in the, late 60s, early 70s. And again, all of the windows that we're going to do will be white with 1x4 casings, and where they fit, we'll do 8/8 grills on all of their placement windows. I don't happen to have access to the pictures. I think that Grace had that stuff that showed some of the neighbors, the products that we're going to use, and the front door and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll be able to pull them up, but hopefully they will. Why don't we go to committee discussion, Bet?
Yes, the property is in considerable disrepair. It needs a lot of TLC, and there's brick on the bottom. Is that correct?
Yes, it looks like some sort of a painted veneer that would probably be removed to install the shingles.
Is that going to
Coincidentally,
remain?
go
Yeah.
ahead.
Go ahead, Bet,
So
say that again.
definitely, this property needs a lot of work, and
Yes,
I think it's quite a challenge to restore it. And it's a lovely neighborhood. So good luck to you in doing that.
thank you.
Okay, George, why don't you jump in?
Okay, the particular area here, Comaquid Heights, is a relatively new district, and we have elsewhere in this project permitted a synthetic siding other than straight cedar shingles, which to my knowledge are extremely difficult and expensive to get. So the use of a substitute for a cedar look, I think, is acceptable in this particular neighborhood. And the windows are probably a Harvey
Yes.
window.
Yep.
And they have between the glass grills available, as well as applied front and clip-in interior. So we've also approved those windows in this neighborhood. This is not typically a tourist neighborhood. It is the neighborhood around the golf course. And it is, of course, the streets are all named after famous golf courses. So I think it's appropriate for this neighborhood and this property.
Okay, thank you, George. Leslie,
Yep. The front door is made of what?
It's fiberglass based, and it has
Oh.
that shaker panel style to it.
Yep, okay, I know, yep. I went by, good for you. It's gonna be good, much better. I'm all for it.
okay, Ryan,
Just to clarify an earlier point that brought up, that kind of brick veneer, are you going to cover over that right down to grade?
Yes,
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think everything else looks good. I did see the proposed color. Yeah, I think it's appropriate.
okay, Wendy,
I was just gonna get clarification on the brick too, so that was my only question, and I'm good.
okay. Yeah, from the spec sheet, it said grills between glass, so that in that area, there are many houses with grills between glass, that's appropriate. The color's appropriate. Now, one thing I saw on the spec sheet is it 7-inch double? Or
yes.
is it individuals?
It's a 7-inch double panel, so that,
Okay. Yeah, a 5-inch course is more appropriate. And it is available in a 5-inch triple.
yeah,
which is
so,
the same look.
yeah, we we considered that option, and usually over the years, we've installed this product quite a bit, and homes that are really close to the street, we've opted for the 555, and ones that set back, we sometimes go with the 7 just because it looks a little bit more appropriate when it's sitting way back off the street. So
Okay.
that's why we selected that on this particular property.
Okay, yeah, it is a bit back. I mean, in its area, that's fine. And, George was talking about approving like polymer shingles and other things in that area. There's a lot of vinyl siding in that area too.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of vinyl siding. I mean, you know, dozens of houses. So, you know, I think for the location and what's in the surroundings, I think it's appropriate. All right, are there any,
Yeah,
okay, go ahead, George.
Paul, I agree with you on the siding spacing. 7 inches of commercial spacing, and it's sometimes combined with a 1.5 inch spacing for a particular Victorian look. But 7 inch is quite large, and I think the 5 inch is much more appropriate, no matter which facing it is, because regular cedar shingles are applied, the white cedars are applied at a 5 inch or less spacing. The clapboards are 3.5 to 4 inch spacing. So the 5 inch looks very much appropriate. 7 inch, I think, is a bit excessive for any residential structure. And I will say there's one other problem with going with the imitation siding, and that's when you get to the spacing adjacent to a window. You're either going to match the head or you're going to match the sill, but you rarely match both. And the 5 inch gives you a better chance of doing that, unless this particular design allows for a different overlap in the spacing. But when you go with a double row, you're kind of stuck with that double row spacing. So I'd much rather see the 5 inch triple applied rather than the that would be 15 inches as opposed to the 14 inches of the two rows of 7 inch. It's all a matter of scale. And when you see it adjacent to windows, the 7 inch are going to make the windows look smaller, for one thing. And as I said, you're going to have a hard time matching the height of the window and the spacing of the shingles. With cedar, you can adjust it and it's not noticeable, but you can't do it with the imitation siding. Thank you.
Okay, Stephen, you want to address that, or would you? willing to
Like
go-
I said, being in the type of neighborhood that we are and seeing all the other people with the vinyl siding around there, this is just a product that we thought would look good on the house. It's not a house that we're doing for somebody. It's my own house. And, you know, we're going to eventually live there. So it's just kind of the look that we wanted. We do understand that with the installation process, in the event a window or a butt joint on the siding were to land inappropriately, there is some adjustments that you can make by lowering one of the starting strips to realign some of the panels. We've put this product in quite a few times on a lot of homes and never really ran into that issue. This particular house has a lot of windows that are double wide and a little taller, so I don't think the idea that the windows are going to look small will come into effect. And the fact that the house is only 1 story, it has very large overhangs on it. I think that, you know, like, again, this is just the style that we chose just because we like this look. We haven't used it on commercial projects before, but we've always used it on a residential application.
Okay, thank you. Is there any public comment? Jen, any hands raised anywhere?
Not that I can see.
Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion?
Yes, this is Bette McCarthy, and I move to approve the certificate of appropriateness for Stephen Clement, trustee, 131 Country Club Drive, Barnstable, map 350, parcel 038/000, built circa 1969, to install cedar impression siding, to install replacement windows and a new front door as submitted in the plans.
Can we have a second?
Leslie Wallace, I'll second.
All in favor, roll call vote. Bat McCarthy,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
George Jessup,
I'll go vote with the majority. Aye.
okay, and Paul Richard, aye. Well, thank you and have a good evening.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay. All right, next application is Joel Best, 12 Briar Lane, West Barnstable, map 136, parcel 054/001, built circa 1997 to install a natural cedar board privacy fence. Do we have the owner or representative here? I see a lot of people in the background. Is Joel Best or a representative here? If you are, unmute yourself. Okay, why don't we go to the next application and come back to that one. Next application is Ann Welton, 2440 Main Street, Barnstable, map 257, parcel 001/000, built circa 1830. Leander W. Jones House, contributing structure in Old Kings Highway Historic District to install a cedar post and rail fence to be installed to an existing 6-foot fence, including a black metal fencing staple to post and rail. Do we have the owner or representative here?
Yeah, hello, my name is Mike Thiel.
Good evening. You want to give us a description of your project?
Yes, we just actually closed on the house today. We started moving in today. And we have 2 dogs, and we'd like to put we just moved from Orleans where we had this fence in. It's a 3-high post and rail fence, and it gives you the look of seeing through. And there's an existing 2-high post and rail fence along the left side of the property, which attaches to a 6-foot-high fence that's already existing there. And we want to, on our fences, we put the black 1-inch by 1-inch square, so that obviously the dogs can't get through it, but from the street or from visual, you cannot see the black fence. So all you see is the post and rail fence. So on the left side of the property, it'll go from the house over to the left to the existing 6-foot fence, which is about 58 feet. And then in the back of the house, from the house to the barn, there's 2 barns there, will also be the post and rail fence, which is about 60 feet, but you will not be able to see it from the street. And then from the back of the barn from the barn all the way to the left to the existing 6-foot-high fence will be a black metal chain link fence, which is basically in the woods that you won't see.
Okay, then why don't we go to committee discussion? Bet? Oh, Bet? Yeah.
I consider the proposed fencing appropriate for the neighborhood and also for the property. It's important on 6A to be able to have your pets safe. So
Yes.
I consider it appropriate.
Okay, Leslie,
Yes, can you put the picture up again? The okay, the only one you'll really see is the one between, I don't know what it is. Is it a barns or something and the house?
Right. The neighbor to the left in our house, there is a 2-foot post and rail fence there now that attaches right where the blue line is. There's a start of a 6-foot-high fence that's already existing there on the property.
Right.
So we're going to go from the house the backside of the house to that fence with that post and rail you see on the previous picture. That's our
Yeah.
house in Orleans.
Yeah,
So from the street, that's all you'll see is the it's 4 feet high.
yes,
And
that's
it's got
what,
three
that's what
rails.
that's what I
Yeah.
wanted to know.
Yeah,
Yep,
the
fine with
whole
me.
rail is 4 feet high.
Yeah,
And on that fence you're looking at, there is a black 1 inch by 1 inch square black fence. And as you can see, you don't even see it in the picture.
no, that's the only thing, because that's really the only one you see. That's
Right.
fine with me.
Yeah,
Hey, Ryan,
Yeah, I think that the only part of the fence that you'll see, that piece between the existing fence and the back of the house, I mean, that's probably 100+ feet from 6A anyway. Given the small grate pattern on the fence, I think the project's appropriate as proposed.
okay, Wendy,
Yeah, I think the black chain link is well camouflaged. You can't really see it. I agree, and I think it's appropriate.
okay, George,
Yeah, the historic fencing for that property would have been a rail fence and perhaps some kind of screening behind it for the smaller animals. So I think it's appropriate.
okay, yeah,
I think it's appropriate.
Oh, okay, George, sorry. I think it's all appropriate. The only thing that's really visible is the one towards the back of the house anyway, and it's appropriate anyway. Is there any public comment?
I just had one other question.
Okay, go ahead.
Seeing that we did buy this old house, I was wondering if you have any information on the house, pictures or anything such at the historical department.
I don't know. I think you might have to try Sturgis Library.
Okay,
Yeah, they've got piles of information. If that's the
Okay.
house, I think I did some bookcases in there many, many years ago.
oh, okay.
They may be gone now. I don't know. I mean, people tear stuff out and
Yeah, no, it's all original on the inside, other than the back addition that was added, I think, in the 90s.
yeah, I checked Sturgis Library. They got a great archives in there.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so seeing no public comment, can we,
I don't see anybody for public comment.
okay, can we have a motion?
Yes, this is Bette McCarthy, and I move to approve the certificate of appropriateness for Ann Welton, 2440 Main Street, Barnstable, map 257, parcel 001/000, built circa 1830, the Leander W. Jones House, contributing structure to the Old Kings Highway Historic District, to install a cedar post and rail fence to be attached to an existing 6-foot fence, including black metal fencing stapled to the post and rail as submitted in the plans.
Can we have a second?
Leslie Wallace, I'll second.
All in favor, roll call vote. Bette McCarthy,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
George Jessup,
Aye.
and Paul Richard, aye. Well, thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you very much. You too.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll
Welcome
go
to the
back-
neighborhood.
We'll go back
Yeah.
to the
Thank
second
you.
application. Joel Best, 12 Briar Lane, West Barnstable, map 136, parcel 054/001, built circa 1997 to install a natural cedar board privacy fence. Is anyone here to represent them? Okay, if there's nobody here on that, I think we should get a motion to continue this to the next meeting.
Yes, this is Bette McCarthy, and I make a motion that we continue the application for the certificate for appropriateness for Joel Best, 12 Briar Lane, West Barnstable, map 136, parcel 054/000, built circa 1997, to install a natural cedar board privacy fence submitted in the plans.
Okay, and that's continued to August 24th. Can we have a second?
Leslie Wallace, I'll second.
All in favor, roll call vote. Bet McCarthy,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
George Jessup,
Aye.
Paul Richard, aye. Okay, next up, minor modifications, there are none. Extensions, there are none. Under other, I talked to Grace about a week ago, and she informed me that the West Barnstable Community Building isn't available until June of 23. So
Oh, come on.
that's what I heard. So anyway, I told her, and there's a certain, 2 or 3 weeks to get the legal notice. So I said, this 24th one, we're gonna, put it as a Zoom meeting. But I think we should continue the Zoom meetings until, or if the town will notify us if we have that building available again. I mean, I don't know if there's some other alternatives that they may be working on. One of them is the county complex. If there's some schedule, that wouldn't be a bad place to meet if you want to go to in-person meetings. And I don't
Chairman
know if there's
Richard,
any- Yeah, go ahead.
if I may, Elizabeth Jenkins, Director of Planning and Development, standing in tonight with Jen Engelson for Ms. Rogers, who was unexpectedly available. We did get your correspondence. Grace did pass that on again because the West Barnstable building is so popular. And we were holding meetings on Zoom. It does turns out that it is fully booked for the remainder of the year on the hearing night, the regularly scheduled hearing night of this board. Your previous administrative assistant had been working with Barnstable County on securing space there, which would certainly make things logistics from an audiovisual perspective easier on our end. We will follow up promptly with Barnstable County to see if they are willing to make their hearing rooms, their meeting rooms available to this group so we can continue to hold meetings within the district.
Right, so I would suggest that we just continue Zoom until we hear back from you or the town. Say,
I would for now, again, given like, as you said, the lead time for advertising hearings, but I just wanted
Yeah.
to jump in to assure you that we did hear that preference of the committee and we are looking into it.
yeah, okay, yeah, and then I heard Grace said that the meeting room that we met at, which was the conference room, wasn't available for the 24th, so even that room is not available on a regular basis every other Wednesday.
Oh, in the town hall
Yeah,
hearing room? Okay. Well, we'll certainly vet that option. Again, as is happening tonight, we often have overlapping hearings that we need coverage for. I apologize for not being able to jump on sooner to help out with the screen share, but we will again, given what appears to be our express preference to get back to meeting in person, we will make sure that we can do our best to find a suitable location.
yeah, I think the town hall for me wasn't really my choice. I mean, I think we should meet in the historic building in the district. I mean, the members have to come from the district. We should meet in the district.
Yeah.
It's more convenient too. So I think, at this point, I think we should just continue Zoom. And I don't even know that we need a motion for this. I mean, we're just going to continue Zoom until we have a place to go.
Understood, sir. We'll keep you updated.
Yeah,
Anything in the Jenkins building, the one next, I don't know if they have meetings in there. Sometimes it's an art gallery.
The meeting
The
house.
little
Yeah.
selectmen's, I think it's called. It's right next to the community building, the little green thing.
That's easy
But
to
I don't
get
know
around.
if they hold, if they have a meeting room.
Elizabeth, she's speaking about off the old Selectmen's building.
Yep,
The
I'm aware.
selectmen's
Yeah,
building,
I'm aware. Again, we will look into it, again, because we have a commitment to our public to record and broadcast all our meetings. Certainly easiest for us to do so and to ensure the quality of those recordings and the audio to do so in a place that is set up for those recordings. It's always been a struggle at the West Barnstable building. So if we're looking for an interim solution anyway before we can get back in there, I think it would be our strong preference to try to find a location where again we have good access to video recording equipment and audio equipment. But we'll do our best and again keep you updated.
Yeah, and one of the things too is you never know how big the meeting's gonna be. We've had someone that's
Right.
been 40, 50, 60 people in that room, so you can't be committed to some small room.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Yeah.
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 At this point, I think it's just gonna continue to Zoom until we have a solution. All right. All right, the other thing on the other, I handed out the, what was it, the exemption for rooftop solar panel arrays.
Yeah.
I don't know if you looked at them. I mean, when the commission votes on this, one of the things I want to clarify is like, there were 10 items on this list. And if you're the applicant and you can't meet all 10, if anything doesn't conform to these 10 exemptions, then it gets tossed back and then you got to go to the committee and have a certificate of appropriate. So there's really, if they can meet every one of these criteria, then they can qualify for an exemption. If none of those, if one of them doesn't work, then they have to go to the committee anyway. So not a whole lot's going to change as far as who's got to go to the committee. And just to clarify these things, these were like solar panels that weren't visible from, I'm trying to think of where it was. It was scenic roads within the district, which includes like 6A. It was like, the map showed,
Mary John.
yeah, Mary, I'm not sure. I think Mary Dunn, yeah, I think that was one of them. And,
Yeah, that's.
like
scenic.
Kevany Lane, all of these other ones are scenic roads. Commerce Road is scenic, but yet First Ave, Second Ave, Sunset, those weren't considered scenic. And at any point, the town can say, oh, we don't want solar, or we want the committee to actually review these things, so we want to make this a scenic road. The town can change their scenic roads. This is just a town-wide thing. There's scenic roads in Osterville and Fatuit, and Marston's Mills and all these other towns. So if the town decides they want to change and make more scenic roads within the Old Kings Highway, they can do that. The commission's trying to make it so that it's not restricting any town to one thing. So, I think it'll all work out, and it's going to get forced down our throats if we don't allow it to go through.
Paul, would they have to get a certificate of exemption?
Yes, they would.
Okay,
So, it gets reviewed at this point, you're reviewing them, Beth, but, if the chair is the one that reviews them, they'll look at it, they'll say, oh, I can see it from this scenic road, so therefore you've got to go for a certificate. So we're not
Right.
losing control. And this isn't through yet. I think this is going to happen mid to late September. Okay.
okay.
Paul, did you send that list out? I don't think I've seen that.
No, I handed them out at the last meeting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll get you one, or
Okay,
actually I'll
that'd be-
scan and email it to you.
Okay, that'd be great. That'd be
Yeah.
perfect.
Actually, just point of order regarding open meeting law, if you could send that to Jen Engelson and Grace Rogers, we'll distribute it to the committee
That'd be
and
great.
add it to an exhibit to the minutes. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, everyone else has had them, but I'll send them to Grace then.
Great. Thank
Actually,
you
she
so
may
much.
already have it, so I'll do that. Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you.
After that, there are no minutes. All right, the next meeting is August 24th, 2022 and September 14th. So I would plan on both of those as Zoom. Can we have a motion to adjourn?
Yes, it's Bette McCarthy. I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Can we have a second?
Leslie Wallace, I'll second.
All in favor, roll call vote. Bette McCarthy,
Aye.
Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Frank Caholen,
Aye.
George Jessup,
Aye.
and Paul Richard, aye. Well, thank you all and have a good evening.